All right, for 7, we're gonna continue with elimination. For this one, you have, for the warm-up, you've got a couple options. You can multiply the first equation by 5 in order to turn that 1 into a 5 here. Or technically, you could multiply the second equation by a 2 to turn this x into a 2 here. You'd probably want to do a -2 if you did that, so then you would have opposite signs. But go ahead and finish that out. What we're going to do today is we're going to do elimination still. But yesterday we could turn something into another number. So you only had to multiply one of the equations. So today that's not going to be able to happen. It's going to be numbers that won't go into one another. So you're going to have to find a common factor that you want to get them into, and you're going to multiply both of the equations to make them match. So it's just an extra step from yesterday. Okay, so we're going to need to multiply both equations in order to obtain matching numbers instead of just one of them. So we're looking here. None of them match right now. The B's and the C's, none of them match. So you're trying to ask yourself, can you turn a 2 into a 3? No. Can you turn a 3 into a 2? No. Then same thing for the other ones. You can't turn this 2 into a 3 or 3 into a 2. So we're stuck. We can't multiply any of these single equations and turn them to match the other. So we're just going to pick a variable and make them match ourselves. I'm going to pick the C's because the C's already have opposite signs, and so that's going to be easier. So I'm going to ask myself, what can 2 and 3 both be? Okay, 2 and 3 can both become 6. They're always going to get bigger because you're multiplying, so what can they both multiply and become? 2 and 3 can both multiply and become a 6. So I'm going to multiply this top equation by 3 because that's how I turn a 2 into a 6. So that gives me 6b plus 6c equals 24 times 3, which is 72. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, okay, what do I have to do to turn a 3 into a 6? I have to multiply it by 2, so everything in this equation gets multiplied by 2. So 2 times 3b is 6b minus 2 times 3c is 6c equals 24 times 2, which is 48. Now I have matching numbers and opposite signs with my c's, so I'm going to add them together. So 6b plus 6b is 12b. 6c minus 6c is gone. And 72 plus 48 is 120. So then you're just dividing by 12, and so you get b is 10. We are still doing the same thing we were before, so you need to plug that back in to find c. You can do it in either one. I'm going to do it, plug it into the top one. So 2, we now know b is 10, plus 2c equals 24. Plug it into the original because the numbers are smaller. So 2 times 10 is 20, plus 2c equals 24. Subtract the 20 over and get 2c is 4. Divide and get that c is 2. Since they're not x and y, they just have to go in alphabetical order. So b comes before c. So my final answer is 10, 2. And that's it. So we're looking here. I cannot turn a 4 into a 6 or a 6 into a 4. I can't turn a 7 into a 5 or a 5 into a 7. And none of them have opposite signs. The x's and the y's both are all positive. So none of that's going to help. So now I'm going to default to what can be my smallest number. So 4 and 6 can both multiply and become 12, while 7 and 5 can multiply and become 35. So I'm going to make the x's match because they can become a smaller number. That's just a personal preference. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to do 4 and 6 and turn them into 12. So to multiply a 4 and turn it into a 12, I have to multiply by 3. To multiply a 6 and turn it into a 12, I have to multiply by 2. Now, I already said that they have the same signs, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply by a -2 on the second equation to get my signs to be opposite. So 3 times 4x is 12x, plus 3 times 7y is 21y, equals 6 times 3, which is 18. Down here, negative 2 times 6 is negative 12x, and then negative 2 times 5y is negative 10y, equals negative 2 times 20, which is negative 40. Sorry. Now we have matching numbers and opposite signs, so I can add these together. So 12x minus 12x is gone. 21y plus a negative 10y is a positive 11y. And then 18 plus a negative 40 is a negative 22. Divide by 11 and get that y is negative 2. And then plug it back in. Theoretically, you have 4 places you could plug it back in. I'm going to do one of the originals just because those numbers are going to be a little bit easier to manage. So I'm going to plug it in here. So 4x plus 7, we now know that y is negative 2 equals 6. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. Add it over, so then you get 4x equals 20, which leaves you with x equals 5. And then you just put it in your ordered pair. So x is 5 and y is negative 2, and that's the point where they intersect. We'll do one more. So, can't turn a 4 into a 3 or a 3 into a 4 in either direction. Currently my y's have opposite signs, so I'm going to go ahead and make those match. 3 and 4 can both multiply and become 12. So I'm going to multiply my top equation by 4, because that's how I turn a 3 into a 12. And then I'm going to multiply my bottom equation by 3, because that's how I turn a 4 into a 12. So then they already have opposite signs, so I'm just going to do positives. So then I have 4 times 4x, which is 16x, plus 4 times, ooh, that's really bad handwriting, plus 4 times 3y is 12y, equals 19 times 4, which is 76. On the bottom, I have a 9x minus a 12y equals a 24. And then I can add them together. So that's 25x. My y's are gone. And 76 plus 24 is 100. Divide by 25 gives me x is 4. And then we can go ahead and plug that back in to any of the equations we have. I'll go to the top one. Okay. 4, we now know x is 4. Plus 3y equals 19. So that is 16 plus 3y equals 19. Subtract the 16 gives you that 3y is 3. Divide by 3 and get that y is 1. Final answer is going to be that x is 4 when y is 1. And that is it. You can do this next one on your own. And then you're going to finish the Did You Hear worksheet. So the letters you didn't do yesterday, you're going to do today, which are going to be E, F, G, H, I, and K.